Good morning, everybody. It's Susie Q96, and this is an unscheduled stream simply being done so that I can continue searching through the mass number of containers that I found hiding in my broadcast area, which contain all kinds of loose quarters. I found a barber dime and some Mexican silver mixed in with the box full of wheat pennies and just all kinds of loose coins in little plastic containers. So I don't know what's in them. And the only way to find out is to stick them under the microscope and take a look at them. So I figured since I have to use the microscope anyway, I might as well fire up the live stream and y'all can look at the stuff when I do. I just found a Canadian dollar bill in a jug full of assorted coinage. I have no idea what those coins are, but I did just find a pretty pathetic looking Canadian dollar bill. It has clearly been folded for a long time. You can see the creases in it up the center. It's from 1973 Ottawa. So we'll try to flatten that out and put that in a something. It doesn't belong where I found it, that's for certain. So we're just going to pick up where we left off last night, emptying out these containers. And right now I'm mostly working on the pennies and setting the other stuff aside for later. Got a pretty good pile here that looks like wheat pennies, but I don't know if they're all from the same year, same decade. So we're just going to start sticking them under the scope. Pardon my fingernails. I am having a dexterity issue when I try to wear the gloves. So I don't think any of these pennies have a whole lot of value to them anyway. So I'm not going to worry about them too much. I just want to see what I've got in here. I created a number of plastic storage bags last night because this is just the initial sort, and I will be going back through and actually examining them later. Right now I just want to get them done by date, and then we will go into more depth of what we have. So I see I forgot to turn YouTube on. Let's do that real quick. There we go. I kind of decided I'm going to try to spend an hour a day. Yeah, these are just random wheaties, apparently. So then I'm going to try to spend an hour a day sorting this stuff out until I have it all where I can see what's in here. I have a number of empty albums or partially filled albums that I need to check and see if any of these will go in. Oh my gosh, it's the telephone guy. I've been thinking about you because of Betty White. And good to see you, sweetie. I have not been well at all for the last 6 months. I had a pulmonary embolism and actually died in the airlift helicopter. And in the course of doing that, I face planted myself and messed up my eye. I have to go on the 10th and get evaluated for the surgery they're going to do to fix my eye, and then I'll be good to go. So I'm on the upswing, you know. Uh, I am seeing things which for a while I couldn't see much of anything. So I'm doing okay. I'm getting better. I'm doing my shows again. I'm doing the 12 days of Christmas giveaway like we did last year. We've been having a lot of fun with that. And but yeah, I actually canceled my show the other day. I was so heartbroken about Betty White, and you of all people understand that one. So I'm just hanging in there. It's all any of us can do, you know. Last year was not good for me health wise, but I'm getting better, and as soon as I am well enough, I'm going to be moving back to Michigan, where the health care is much better than here in the lovely state of Virginia, where I have to go 125 miles just to see most of the specialists. Yeah, I just happened to be on here sorting through. I found 4 boxes full of coins and a bunch of little plastic containers when I started trying to organize stuff to start doing my show again. And I realized I needed to sort through all this stuff. So I am not trying to get things I already have, and I can get rid of a bunch of this stuff, cash it in, give it away, do something with it besides have it sitting here in boxes. Because I did find some pretty cool. I found some silver mixed in with the pennies and just all kinds of stuff. And I think what happened was when I was really sick, I had some family members that came in, and because they really pretty much everybody thought I was a goner, including my doctors. And of course, I'm a stubborn old thing, so I'm still here. But I think they just picked all the coins up, not realizing that there was a method to the madness of the way they were on my desk. And they threw them in all these containers, and because they're not coin people. And so I just now discovered them a couple of days ago, and I'm like, what in the world is going on up in here? So, uh, somebody yesterday asked me why I didn't go to a certain online auction that was happening, and I said, because I don't know what I have. Hi, Rob! I came here to avoid the drama. Well, there's not much drama happening here. We're just talking about the discovery of these boxes full of coins that somehow I don't even know how they all ended up existing. Like one of the boxes said it was coin roll holders, and it turned out it was full of pennies. There was some Mexican silver, some German silver, couple Barber dimes, just all kinds of stuff. So I started opening all the boxes, and I found like 10 plastic containers full of miscellaneous coins. I found boxes that I am assuming that when I was really sick, my family members were trying to tidy up and did not realize that there was a method to the madness, that these things were stacked on my desk in a certain order. And they just picked them all up and threw them in the box because they're not coin people. So now I'm trying to figure out, what do I have? Does it need to go back to the bank? Does it need to go in the container in which my collection is stored? does it need to be given away during a live stream? There's just so much of it that I decided yesterday I'm going to try to come on every day for an hour and just uh, stick these things under the microscope and at least get them sorted out by year, because I don't have a clue, obviously, what is in these containers. I just opened one that it's mixed coins and there was a Canadian dollar in there, and it's just stuff. Some of it is good stuff. I found a couple 1909 VDBs, just all kinds of loose coins. And so I figured since I have to go through them anyway, we would just throw them up here and you guys can see what I find as I see what I find. Like I said, last night we were finding some pretty interesting things. The 1953 Mexican 5 pesos, that was a pretty nice coin. I don't know where I got it, but I got it. And I do save my Mexican coins and my German coins. Other than that, I'm not super duper on foreign currency unless it's something I dig up out of the ground, or if it is like a military related coin. I do have a few of those, but yeah, I just got stuff that needs to be sorted through. So I've made myself a little system here of bags, and I'm sorting all these wheaties and pennies out, and then I can put them in the books or get rid of them, or I'm sure that there's some beginning collector that has some holes in their book that need to be filled, and so that some of these will serve that purpose. It's just something that needs to be done, and I need to log in some hours, and so that's happening this morning. Like I have a tremendous amount of 57Ds. I mean, this bag I'm going to have to start a second container for them. It's going to break pretty soon. And then today at 5, I have a double whammy. I have the Lodo coin collecting show that comes on at 5, and I'm going to combine with that day 10 of the 12 days of Christmas. So there's going to be a bunch of giveaways and a lot of news that I have to put out there from the coin community. Some interesting stuff. And then Wednesday, which will be the 12th day of the 12 days, I'm going to go back to doing my metal detecting show again. So I'm trying to get back into a rhythm of my schedule. It's still a little bit difficult because they have not fixed my eye yet, but they did give me some different medication that has helped clear up some of my vision issues. So I'm able to see well enough to pop into the stream. Oops. So anyway, if you're wandering through here, please take a moment to hit the like, and I think most of you are subscribers or you wouldn't know I was on here, but please let people know that the 12-day Christmas giveaway is still going. I'm also going to have a special giveaway because a long time ago I said after I did the 666 giveaway, I said the next one was going to be 777, and uh, YouTube took a bunch of my stuff away and kicked me way back down. So I finally have worked my way back up to 777. So we will be doing a 777 giveaway tonight in my show as well. And then I have a prize I got to give away from a contest I had last night. So we got a lot of stuff happening. Like I said, I'm trying to get back in the swing of things. So, my goodness, there's a bunch of these 57Ds. Have maybe make a whole roll of them just so I don't have to search them all for errors. But there's a lot of stuff. So I'm going to do this until 11, and then I'm going to go work on another project for a while. But eventually, if I do at least an hour a day, I should get this done, hopefully not too much longer. Good thing I have all these plastic bags from my jewelry business, which I have also let go to heck. Because I'm using them to sort into, and then I can reuse them for the jewelry later. But it's better than nothing. I can't find my stapler, so I'm going to have to get a ride over to the dollar store, pick up a couple of staplers. I'm going to get one for myself, and then I'm going to pick up one for the Lucky James Eller, who never can seem to find his either. He mentioned last night that he didn't have one either, so we'll try and hook him up. Because I sent him a bunch of the little cardboard folders, but he does not have a stapler, so I'm going to try to find one of the small ones and get that out to him. I try to help all my Michigan buddies especially, because I know that when I get back up there, I'm going to be able to count on them to help me, just because Michiganders are the best. I really miss living in Michigan, and I've had a lot of people say, well, why did you leave? I left for two reasons. One, I went south to help take care of my friend Tommy, who had a lot of health issues and eventually passed away. But also because my home got flooded in the middle of winter, and there just was no way for me to repair it. It was going to cost way too much. It took out the heat, the air conditioning, the pretty much the entire kitchen. So I just had to go. Yeah, I'm gonna look at the different staplers, but see, where I live, we don't have any kind of office supply store. This town is very small, so what I can purchase is pretty limited. But I have a tool that I use with my jewelry that I use to make sure that the staples on the stuff that I send out are flat enough they're not gonna slide over and make any contact with my coins. And if I can't do that, I will just put them in an envelope unstapled and let the person who is receiving it put the staples in how they want them. But James did make a specific request for a stapler, so and I know he had being in Detroit. I think he's got some limited issues with where he wants to go, so can't say I blame him on that. I'm not a big fan of Detroit either, but that's how it works. So a guy in my club is a big coin guy and said it's 4 days. So do you want me to come for Friday? Oh, okay. That's for Archaeology Mikey. Mikey and Rob are trying to meet up at a coin show over by Orlando. And they're trying to get their arrangements made. And this is as good a place as any to do that. Talk among yourselves. I cannot believe I have all these wheaties. Oh my gosh. I have this whole tray here going back to the 30s. There's a couple of 20s and older in here, but man, and I'm still just, going through piles of them. This one looks like I might have dug it out of the dirt. Man, there's a lot of them. Lot of them. Be glad to have them all sorted out so I can see what they are. Right now, I think the one I have the most of is 57B. There's just like tons of them. $49. But like I said, if I work on it for an hour a day, I should be able to make some sense out of it, and the people in my stream will benefit from it because I'll be giving some of them away. I'm pretty sure. I just keep plugging away at it. Last night during one of these coin sorting streams, one of my channel people came in and gave me the info on the 2022 dig stock down in Greenville, North Carolina. So Wednesday night I'll be on my metal detecting show. I'll be providing more information on that, more information on Florida Hunt. Greg has sent me a little info on that one. Hopefully I will make at least one hunt this year. Last year, the best laid plans of mice and men. I ended up not getting to go to anything. I mean, I had car rentals already booked. I had made arrangements for sharing a hotel room with somebody. I mean, I had it all lined up, and my ducks got out of the row. I think they got into one of Rob's duck races and got all discombobulated, and I ended up not going anywhere except the hospital. And that really sucked. Didn't like that at all. So hopefully, yeah, I was supposed to go to New York last year too and go detect with Lou and Merrill, and didn't get to do that. It was not a good year for me and metal detecting. I got a lot of new equipment that I've really hardly gotten to use at all. So we will get it. I'll get it going here in the upcoming year. I have some serious goals, and I'm going to try and reach at least some of them. The primary ones are getting back to Michigan and getting my health in order. But before I go to Michigan, I want to make my southern tour and then go north, because I'm not sure once I get up there that I would be able to make that adventure happen. Just because transportation and everything, travel now is so expensive, and I don't really understand why. I mean, they're using COVID as an excuse, but I don't see why having to disinfect a car makes it cost you an extra $50 a day to rent one. That's kind of, I consider it to be price gouging. They charge you that because they know they can get away with it. And that's not fair, and it's not helping our economy one bit. In fact, it's hurting our economy because people cannot afford to travel and spend the extra money because the actual travel itself costs so much. I mean, I used to rent a subcompact car for like $25 a day. That same car now is almost $70 a day. And I can't do that. It's just too expensive for me to travel anymore at that kind of rate. And my little car is not going to make it. It has 245,000 miles on it, and I would not feel comfortable trying to drive it to Florida. I might make the South or the North Carolina trip in it, but that would be about it. I don't want to get too far away from home, have it break down and me be stranded somewhere. Yeah, but these are the subcompact cars, Mikey, that went from $19.95 a day to almost $80 a day for no reason. I don't, it's because they know that people don't want to fly, and so they will pay higher rates, but they shouldn't be allowed to do that. Not raise it that much. I understand maybe a $10 fee for having to disinfect the vehicles, but yeah, for the little subcompact to go up from $20 to $30 to $80 to $90, that's obscene. It does not cost that much to disinfect the cars. We have a lot of people around here, and since there's only one car rental place in the area, they pretty much just charge us whatever they feel like. And I used to rent cars all the time rather than take my own because it was fairly affordable. And I always had like loyalty points and that kind of stuff, but I can't do it now. I really have to pick and choose carefully if I want to go somewhere and plan the trips out where I don't have to eat in restaurants, or I rent a vehicle that I can sleep in so that I don't have to pay hotel rates. So, I have money put aside that I was given last year to go to Florida and see my brother and metal detect, and I had to cancel that trip. So that money is still in an envelope. I have not used it to pay bills or buy anything else. If somebody gives me money and says this is for you to do this with, that's what I'm going to do with it. I'm not going to use it for anything else. My money for moving to Michigan is in an account where a second person has to sign off on it, indicating that I am using it for the move. So, even though I have some bills that need to get paid, that's not what that money's for. So I won't be using it for that. At some point, I will be well enough to make that trip to Florida to see my brother and go metal detecting, and probably go torment Rob and Pat and a few other folks down there. Okay, what are these 2 pennies in this little plastic jar? Oh, 3 pennies in this little plastic jar. Okay, more pennies. I'm a little over a half an hour in. Haven't found anything super exciting yet, but we are making some progress on getting this stuff sorted out, so can't complain about that. Like I said, about 11, I got another project I got to get off of here and work on so that I have things ready for tonight's show. We are in the midst of our first winter snow. There's quite a bit of snow on the ground out there, so I was going to try to get someone to take me to get some quarters, but it's nasty out there, so we won't be going out and trying to drive around in that. There's another 59. But I have plenty of stuff for tonight's show. Tonight's show is a combination of my regular Monday night Lodo coin collecting show and day number 10 of the 12 days of Christmas. So we're going to have a lot of fun tonight, and we're also going to do the elusive 777 giveaway that never got to happen. So yeah, it was not a good year for a lot of people, and part of that is because people just did not take the COVID thing as seriously as they should have, and they thought it was just gonna be a short-term thing and everything was going to go back to normal, and that's not what happened. And it, especially small business people, it really, really hurt. And part of that is just simply because of corporate greed. The bigger companies, like these car rentals and truck rentals, they gouge the daylights out of people. I have a friend, actually it was the son of a friend of mine that passed away last year, and her son lives in New York City. He's a broadcasting, not broadcasting, Broadway performer. Well, they shut down almost everything on Broadway, and over 100,000 people were out of work. People don't realize that's a business. Broadway performances, that's a business. And these kids who especially had the smaller parts in some of the plays, they were all having to move and double up and triple up in these little bitty apartments, and they couldn't even rent the trucks to move their things. The trucks were so outrageously expensive that they could not even get their stuff moved. It's terrible. Well, Pat, there's a lot of people say the same thing. Or not Pat, Rob. There's a lot of people that say the same thing about me. There was a period of time when I first got sick that there was a group of people saying I wasn't really sick, and that the fundraiser that was held for me was just for me to get some money, and that I was not sick at all. And I didn't even know this stuff was going on because I was in ICU and I wasn't even conscious. And all of a sudden, when I tried to come back, I got people calling me a thief and a liar, and I'm like, I could barely even walk. And people always gotta have somebody that they can pick on. I try to just, yeah, stay to myself. Um, I was not in on that one. I did ask some questions about it last night from somebody that was there, and I am going to go watch the video. And then Rob, after I have watched it, then we'll talk, because one of the people involved is a good friend of mine. Yeah, I know, it was absolutely crazy, Rob. I had one who, I don't know if you're familiar with Ida Herring, but when all of this stuff started going crazy with me, Ida donated a quilt, a beautiful custom made quilt, as part of the fundraiser. And the lady who got the quilt, she paid $300, and then Muscle Shell paid the other 200, so it was a total of $500 for the quilt. And because Ida could not make exactly what this lady wanted, it was just beyond the scope of the project. Ida created a beautiful quilt as close to what this lady wanted as possible. And the lady did not like it and sent me a whole bunch of nasty emails saying she wanted her money back from the donation. Now, I was not part of that deal. That deal was between this person and Ida Herring. The money was sent to Ida, and then Ida donated it back to me. So I kept telling this lady, you need to contact Ida. I don't have anything to do with the making of the quilt. I didn't have anything to do with what your monetary agreement was, other than the fact that she held the auction in my stream. Well, this lady went all over the internet and told people I stole money from her and that I wasn't sick. And then they started a rumor that I was dead. Uh, and it just kept getting worse and worse. And my doctors are telling me, you need to avoid stress because that stress can cause a problem with the embolism until we can get that blood clot completely dissolved. This could kill you. And these people just kept on and on. And I still have people. I went into a live stream one day and they thought it was somebody using my account because they all had heard I was dead. And I actually had to call the person whose live stream it was because they know my voice and they had talked to me on the phone before. And I actually had to call this person and say, look, that's not a fake person using my account. That's me. I'm not dead. And so then that lady had to get on, online and tell everybody, we've been duped. Susie is alive. And this person that came in here and started that rumor was lying to us. Well, these were more in the coin community, Rob, than they were in the detecting thing. And once the initial person found out that it was not true, a lot of people blocked that individual to stop the spread of the rumor. But I have emails. Oh, here we go with the Russian doodahs again. Last 2 days I've been getting all these hoochie coochie people trying to sell their nasty videos on my channel. I just wish yeah. Misplaced Youper Girl was Amy Smith. Amy was one of the people, as sick as she was with cancer, who jumped to my defense and told this person that was spreading all this stuff that they needed to be very careful about saying things like that because they could find themselves in court. And poor Amy was so sick herself and she passed away this past week, but yet she jumped right in there by virtue of the fact of being a former Michigander like I am. Um, she jumped to my defense, digging with Deej. Deej was right there with me through all of it, probably more than anybody else, but it was in the background where people didn't necessarily know, but she had my back big time. Oh yeah, yesterday, Rob, I probably had 30 of those things pop up. And during my regular stream, it wasn't so bad because I had a decent number of mods available. But then when I was doing this last night with the coins, it was really hard for me to be watching the coins and watching what these nut jobs were doing in my stream. And then fortunately, a couple of my mods showed up and we were knocking them out pretty fast. But there's a flaw in how YouTube is handling that. In my opinion, they don't need to be going after the usernames. They need to be going after if a link keeps getting reported and the person posting it is getting blocked and it's the same link over and over. They need to make it where you cannot post that link. And they just keep letting them post and letting them post. And it's, well, my brother actually holds, I think it's 13 or 14 patents for all different things related to the creation of cell phone communications. Some of it is software related, some of it is hardware related, but basically, there would be no cell phones if my brother didn't exist. And so I'm going to discuss it with him and see if there is some way of writing a software patch or something that can be installed that will automatically, you can just put certain links in there and it won't ever let that link be posted again. Because yesterday it was like 7 different people, but they were all posting the same link. And well, see, the thing is, Rob, the way they're, or Mikey, the way that they are posting them, they're not coming up as a click on link. And that's the only thing that YouTube's thing stopped you from doing, is you can't click on it, but they can still post it in text form, and that's what they're doing. And there's no way for it to stop that, but some of them have these really unusual formats. It's not like com or net. So yeah, I went through my races last night, but see, Rob hand types his stuff in. He doesn't copy and paste like I do on his duck race. So he would not be typing in those bot names to begin with. So he doesn't really have a problem with it like I do. I have to make sure when I do the copy and paste that I do not include them. And it's pretty easy on Nightbot. I can just deselect those names. They'll still be on the list, but there's a 43. They're still on the list, but I can just deselect them from being included in the selection process. I had one yesterday. I couldn't quite get it out of there. So when I transferred the names over, I just erased it. It wasn't that big of a deal once I figured it out. And I am making a video on how to do some of this Nightbot stuff that I have figured out on my own. That does make using StreamYard a whole lot easier. But it's going to take me a while to get all caught up on everything. You know, when you're gone 6 months, it takes longer than a week to put everything back together, that's for certain. And this is a good time to do it because our weather has turned now, and even if I felt good enough to do it, I really can't go out detecting. So we'll just be using this time to try to paste everything back together. And it'll get there. I'm not making like a super duper push to get monetized. Would I like to be monetized? Of course, because it would help me pay for giveaways, postage, and that kind of thing. But I'm not going to stress myself out on it. Am I upset with what YouTube did to me? Of course I am. If somebody took 300 people off your channel and 1,000 hours of watch time, I'm pretty sure you would also not be real happy about that. What have I just done here? I can't read. Okay, I've already got 46. Goodness. I got about 7 more minutes to work on this project. And then I got to go move on to my other stuff. Get ready for tonight. Got to go through all the emails because I had a contest where you had to email. And I got to go in there and see who won that. And then I've got some information I need to write down so that I do not forget to announce it on the show. Got to start a new notebook for 2022 because, like Rob, I still do some of the stuff old school. Write it down in the notebook because can't always count on things being the way you think they're going to be. Like yesterday when I got up and the cat had dumped over the prize box and 2 of the envelopes had spilled the prizes out, and we had to figure out who those prizes belonged to. And so I made a contest out of it, and people had to go and look. All right, go enjoy your breakfast, Rob. Thanks for popping in. Hey, Tiff, long time no see, girl. Happy New Year to you too. Yeah, I'm just sorting coins this morning for a few more minutes, and then I'm gonna go work on some other stuff. But I gotta see what all this mess is that I found. 38, 36, 37, 38. Yeah, I must have a couple hundred wheaties here so far that I've sorted out. It's quite an experience. Just finding them everywhere. Morning, pocket change. How you doing today? Alrighty, let's put that over there. What's this penny? Oh, that's not a penny, that's a dime. Really cruddy looking dime, but it's a dime. Some cruddy quarters. And oh boy, great big jar full of I have no freaking idea. I think some of this may be metal detected coins. I do not know. Like I said, hundreds and hundreds. Oh, hey, Daniel. Yep, 5 o'clock today. We're doing the combination, the combo platter of the Lodo coin collecting show and day number 10 of the 12 Days of Christmas giveaway. So it's going to be a dandy tonight. I hope everybody will come over, and we're going to give away some stuff, and we're going to talk about some stuff, and hopefully have a good time will be had by all, and the peasants will rejoice. I've been here, it's just quarter, nickel, penny. So I'm just going to sort them out. Oops, there's a dime. Put all the quarters in one thing and go through them later. I have been through them as far as whether they went in the books, but I have not looked at these quarters for any kind of errors or anomalies of any kind. So I do have to go back through them. But right now I'm just sorting them out and getting the pennies and stuff out. I'll put these aside for later on. And then a lot of them can go back to the bank. I can trade them in for something else. Money for my move or something. But for now, I'm just trying to make some sense out of all of these jugs full of stuff. There's just so much. And I don't know how it got like this, but we will keep working on it. Like I said, I'm going to work on it for about an hour a day and try and get things caught back up to where these items need to be where they need to be. Because, I mean, there's just hundreds and hundreds of coins of assorted varieties that just need to go somewhere. So I'll probably work on it for another 10 minutes or so, and I have a jar that's just stuff that needs to be rolled up, go back to the bank. I've got a great big box. Yeah, I'm doing a lot better pocket change. I just got really, really sick that one day. I don't know what happened. It just hit me out of, I got blindsided by it. And I was horribly sick. And yeah, I don't know what happened. It may have been a reaction to medication or something I ate that wasn't good, but yeah, I was in sad shape. I remember that night. Oh, that was awful. But I've been doing pretty good. Out of the 12 days of Christmas so far, I only missed one show, and so I just did a double show the next day. But for me to be back doing a show every day, that's major. And in fact, yesterday I was on 3 times because I started working on this project of sorting all these coins. So I'm a pretty happy camper that I'm well enough to be doing this. My eyes are still bothering me pretty bad. Oh, isn't that lovely? That's what happens to a zinc penny when it's buried in the ground and you dig it up with your metal detector. Isn't that pretty? I think this jar is metal detected coins because a lot of them are pretty gross. And some of them are okay, but like I said, a lot of these coins are almost impossible to tell what they really are. I mean, that is a penny, a 2004 Zinken, but pretty nasty. I just roll those up and take them back to the bank. Here, you deal with them. But I have some friends, they won't even dig them because they say it's not worth the effort. But when you find a couple of hundred of them a year, to me, money is money. And I am not too much of a snob to pick up pennies. It's all money to me. It's all money to me, honey. There's a 68. Put that to the side for now. And I'll get it into its proper bag because it's a decent looking one, but a lot of this is just trash. But see, this is the worst coin ever made by the U.S. Mint, the zinc penny. I mean, that's useless. That's a piece of crap. Come on, America, we can do better than that. Terrible. Picked up a cent underneath the bed in the hotel once. Oh, I found $100 bill in a hotel room once under the bed, and my guess is they were probably using it to imbibe in some illegal drugs because it was rolled up. But what happened was I had M3 with me. I was in the process of a move, and he got out of his kennel cage, and he got up under this platform bed, and I couldn't get him out of there. And I finally had to go out to the U-Haul truck and get this little rolling cart that I had and kind of hike up the platform so that I could get to him and get him out. And here was this $100 bill rolled up under there. So that was nice. That paid for my hotel room. Pretty groovy. I always take money. But yeah, I pick up pennies at the car wash. And if I see pennies on the ground in the parking lot at the grocery, I pick them up because they all add up in the end. In the end, they are still legit currency. So I got no problem. I'm not too proud to take pennies. I mean, this jar I got over here right now that I started last night is probably 2 inches thick in a stack of pennies. So by the time I get done with it, maybe I'll count them up and see how many I did end up with. Oh yeah, and I had to go get the lady that I still couldn't get him out of there. And I had to go get the lady that ran the hotel, and I thought, oh, she's going to think I'm nuts, but she told me it happens all the time. So she came down and helped me get him out, but I'm glad I got the $100 bill before she saw it, because she probably would have insisted on taking it. Oh, here's the jar. I'm going to go ahead and finish this container, and then I'll quit, because I got to sort. This is all mixed coins. I don't know how these containers came to exist. I'm pretty sure family members just did this when I was in the hospital, not realizing that I had these things sorted out into certain categories. They may have just been sitting on my desk, but I knew what they were. And apparently they didn't, and they just pushed them in. So I ended up finding all these boxes and containers the other day, and I gotta figure out what I got. So I decided if I work on it for about an hour every day, I could figure out what I have, because like yesterday, I intentionally stayed away from a couple of different auctions because I don't know what I have, for one thing, and I can't afford to really be buying anything right now. So I thought, well, let's see what we actually have before we indulge in anything. So we'll get it. I figured I might as well do it this way, and people can pop back in and they will know that I am back online. Oops, there's another one on the floor. I'll get that one tomorrow. I have a lady that comes and helps me clean my house because I'm still not fully recovered. And so when she sweeps, she'll pick up all the stuff that I have dropped over the last couple days. Good morning, Walt Bunny Scratcher. How are you? We're just doing some more of what we were doing last night, sorting through coins. Haven't had any major super duper finds yet. No, I did not pocket change. What happened was really awful. 3 days before I was supposed to go pick up the motorhome about an hour away from here so that I could go up to University of Michigan Hospital, um, I had a pulmonary embolism, which is a blood clot that traveled up through my body and lodged in my lung right next to my heart. And so it was putting pressure on my heart. I spent 15 days, they had to air flight me out of here. I spent 15 days in intensive care and critical care in Roanoke, Virginia. And when I got out of there, I had to learn how to walk all over again. When I fell having the embolism, I jammed my glasses into my right eye and damaged my eye. So next month I have to have surgery on my eye. And once I get that done, they said it'll only take 3 or 4 days for that to heal back up because it's a laser process. Then I will be able to restart my plan to get back to Michigan. However, instead of living in the motorhome due to the deterioration of my health, I have been on the waiting list for a senior housing, low income housing unit uh, in Michigan where I will be able to access all the proper health care that I need, because the specialists that I need here, I actually have to travel up to 125 miles just to be seen. They just don't have the doctors here to attend to the problems I have. So that's what happened. So I am still, well, yeah, they know now what was happening, but the dinky hospital here diagnosed my problem as an anxiety attack, when in actuality, I had a blood clot that was slowly working its way through my system. And so every time that blood clot would move, that's why I was falling down, and I was just getting sicker and sicker. And then when it completely broke loose and jammed itself up against my heart, um, they said that I actually quit breathing while I was in the helicopter, and that the EMTs in the copter were able to get my heart restarted. So, yeah, they know now what it was that was causing all of this. And I have medications that I'm going to have to take for the rest of my life to keep this from happening again. But I have to go to pulmonologists and cardiologists and all kinds of ologists for the rest of my life, and we just don't have those here where I live. I have to go all the way to Roanoke, which is over 100 miles. So that's not going to work for me. I'm going to have to get back. Oh, and then they still have not fixed the original problem, which is the disconnected nerve in my brain. So I still have a bunch of stuff that has not been taken care of because when the pulmonary embolism happened, that overshadowed everything else. But we do know now what was causing the problems, and one by one we can fix those things. But we don't really have the doctors here in the Blue Ridge Mountains to do that. So, yes, I am still going to Michigan. I just won't be doing the motorhome thing. Instead, I will be moving into senior housing where they will have someone that comes around every day just to make sure that I'm up and okay and so forth. And I will have access to much better. Ooh, there's a 36. Much better medical care and a much bigger network of friends that I can call on if I need somebody, if I can't drive for some reason. Like right now, I cannot drive because I'm waiting to get my eyeball fixed. My niece used to drive me around, but she moved right after Thanksgiving. So I do not have her here anymore to take me to these doctor's appointments, and I'm really struggling with the transportation issue. So the sooner I can get this eye fixed and I get back up the list of people waiting for the senior housing, because I lost my spot. I have to work my way back up the list. And but yeah, the money is still in place. It never got spent. It's in an account that someone else has to sign off on, that it can only be used for things related to the move. So it's sitting there and it will be there when it is time for me to relocate, which I hope is soon. I really hope is soon. But now that, I mean, it took me actually dying and coming back to life for them to figure out what was wrong with me. And now, like I said, we know what the problem is. We know what medications I have to take. We know what I have to do. I had to go through a lot of physical therapy. But there is a solution now. You can't have a solution if you don't know what the question is. And these doctors here were just absolutely clueless as to what was wrong with me. I actually have an attorney looking at some of the paperwork because of the misdiagnoses involved. Uh, Saying that a blood clot was an anxiety attack. That's pretty not even close. You know, not even close, folks. And 3 days after they gave me that diagnosis was when I ended up being air flighted out. So they can't say, they didn't run any tests or anything in that ER. They just they actually kind of accused me of being in there just trying to get pain medication. Well, I already have pain medication. Why would I need to go down there and get some from them? You know, it didn't have anything to do with that. They just did not do the tests. They were negligent, and I almost left the world because of it. But I'm doing much better. I'm back doing my shows just in the last couple weeks. It's all good. I'm a breathing. So, yay. Ooh, there's a wheatie. Let's see what that one is. Yep, we're moving forward. A 1945. Let's file that in the wheatie box. 42, 43, 45. Yeah, I've probably found 200 wheaties so far in these containers. Just all kinds of stuff. Some of these, like I said, a lot of them are metal detected coins that no idea what that is. I mean, I know it's a penny. That's all I know. It's a dirty money that even money laundering is not going to help that. That is just nasty. Oops. Get in the jar. I think when I get to the end of this stack, I'm going to quit. Because I do have to get ready for my 5 o'clock groovy thing. If you are hanging out in here watching me do this and you haven't hit the like button, please do so. Because while I was gone, YouTube decided to rob me of over 200 people who had taken time to hit that subbing button. And they also took away 1,000 hours of my watch time. And I don't think that's fair because people watched that time. They shouldn't be allowed to take that away after the fact. So as close as I was to getting monetized, I got drop kicked way back. And I'm having to kind of rebuild. I feel like I should get Jimmy and Rosalind Carter out here and do some kind of Habitat for Humanity rebuild. I don't know. I just didn't think it was fair. I mean, I understand taking away a few channels for, those channels not existing anymore or something, but not in the massive number that they took away from me. So, but I don't get what once you actually almost die or die and come back, you don't let some of this stuff get to you like it did before. I had people saying all kinds of crap about me, that I wasn't really sick and stuff like that. Well, I'm going to have to end this because I have an important phone call. So we'll see y'all at 5 o'clock Eastern. Bye.